you're a judge. Oh,
For Idol season
yes,
1.
of course. 2002. You didn't realize in 3 years that's gonna be like 20 years ago. I'm so stressed.
Yeah, and they still can't bring me back for just 1 episode.
Haters. Haters. Haters.
Yeah.
There was a mistake there that was made by you, that, according to them. It was reported that they said, you know, you said these type of people can sing better than these type of people.
Yeah, I said black kids can sing better. It wasn't a mistake. I said the black kids at the time could sing better. At the time, Idols was on Mnet. Black people did not have access to DSTV, so they could not vote. And behind the scenes, they dressed the black kids badly. I'm saying it again. They didn't have black stylists styling the black kids properly. They would just say, actually, I had a conversation with someone and said, why is a child styled like that?
No.
Yes!
No, stop.
What? And I said, you make the child look 45, they're 18. This is an idol search. They need to look young and funky. I met Simon Cowell when he came here. So I didn't make any mistake. The black people couldn't vote because they didn't have access. It was season 1. And the black kids were talented than the white kids at the time. Sorry, there was no mistake that I didn't make. And I'll still say it again. It took so many years for the black kids to be seen and heard and black people to start voting. They still don't vote the way they should be voting. So what mistake are we talking about?
Oh, you know, they made it sound like really like as if it was racially charged.
Yes, it was. I called how they were treating the black kids differently. I mean, I wasn't saying, today I'm going to be racist when I get there.
No, of course.
I saw it and I was like, what is this? I'm a kid from Bushbuckridge who grew up in Soweto. My first radio experience was with black man who allowed me to be myself and voice. My first television show I lived in a commune with an American girl, a German girl, and a Canadian girl. I didn't go to a white school. White people didn't treat me differently at 16, 17, 18, 19. Now, when I got into a production and then I was treated differently, I realized that something, only in hindsight could I say it was racism. I didn't even know how to pronounce it at the time.
I'm with you.
Did you get what I'm saying?
I'm with you.
So all I did was say, but these kids are treated differently. And then I'm a very observant person when I do things, and I'm very intuitive as well. So I was not bucking.
So do you think because the show was new,
yes,
they were stressed about the controversy? They were stressed about
the controversy about it, and they had to manage it, obviously. You know, and then I had to be the fall girl because I was the one who, I was getting media attention from the black media, and they were trying to make it look like I didn't want you and anybody who came after me to go through the same thing. Because you know what? I took a moment to have a conversation with Shera Twala and other women who came before me to find out how they were treated. And I was like, that's not happening to me. So I knew how people treat us. So I was aware of what was going on. I mean, I might not have been able to articulate it with the right English, you know, in the right tone.
And the right type letter.
Yeah, I couldn't sit and say, you know. I'm just like, that's not cooking. It's not happening with me. They're like, yo, you've got a short fuse. I'm like, yes, I'm from Bushbuckridge, so let's go.
How are things at Massive Metro?
Yeah, Massive is fun. It's fun, it's crazy. I have to wake up at 4 in the morning. Yeah. I think every environment brings, you know, different challenges. And again, like when I spoke about the TV thing, I've learned to adjust my expectations and I learned to adjust. There'll always be challenges in different environments, you know, because, you know, the big station might have resources where things take quicker to happen. In this case, might be a smaller place, so it takes longer for things that are supposed to be. So you have to, you know, to adjust. You can create, you're given room to create. I mean, I also, for example, had an opportunity to do stuff with Gareth at some point. So you just have to adjust and work with that particular environment and whatever it's got to offer. But with a goal in mind of like, what are you trying to achieve? You know, I needed to understand how the digital space works, you know, get back on doing daily radio. So it gives me that opportunity, but it also gives me an opportunity to work with young people who might not have the experience that I have. You know, for me, I can source content at an instant. For them, everything is difficult to find. I'm like, do you know what I mean? So you still have to adjust to things like that. And obviously the resources might not be as you expect them to be, but it's a work in progress. But also more than anything else, it's supporting what Nick and Swoo and the rest of the guys are trying to do. And let's see what this whole digital revolution can be about and where we can go.
Of all the jobs that you've had to move on from, which one was the toughest?
Motswako. I think after Motswako, I just learned to do the work and deliver what is expected of me and and go.
What did you love about Motoko?
I loved that I could share my lived experience and I could speak to women about their experiences. I could sort of like...
It's called the mix.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I could be vulnerable, and my vulnerability could give permission to other women to be... You know, I watch you and people come and cry. I'm like, oh my God, I know what that feels like, because what that does, it heals people. It heals the person who's sitting across you, and it heals the people who are watching. Because people forget that we come from a lot of brokenness as a nation, as a people. And while we're on media, we're part of healing the psyche of our nation. And that's what I mean when I say I bring my... Because for me, when I do the work, that's what I see myself as that. Like, I'm a healer. You know, I help people go into places where they're afraid to go. And once they go in there, because once you've seen things, once you've heard, you can't unhear it, you can't see it. So you go back and you think about it. And when you're thinking about it, something happens in your psyche, in your emotion, and in the being, you know, of who you are. So if I'm gonna sit there and it's just a lousy job, who am I fooling? And who, you know, I'm not being true to my purpose. And the same thing, like, you know, when I sat there on Idols, I was sitting there as a young person who knows what it's like to come from nothing and have a dream and go present your dream in front of people and want to be given an opportunity. For you to be shortchanged on little things that you have not control over, that's very limiting thinking.
But do you feel like you got taken for granted a lot because you were always willing to give so much?
Yeah. But it's not anybody's fault. I'm just that kind of person. Like I commit, I show up, I work, I do what needs to be done, and I take myself.
What more can one do?
What else can I do? I don't know. See, I don't know how to scheme. I don't know how to suck up. I don't know how to cheat the process. So what else was I supposed to do? I just know that if you're honest, loyal, showing up, doing your best, you know, what you put in is what you're supposed to get out. I believe that. You know, so I can't change my belief system for that environment. And also, I'm not gonna go back chat and whatever. I'm going to ask, so what does it take to get to the next level? Like, is there step 1, 2, 3 do you need to do? Okay, so you excel, you deliver, you're loyal, you're dedicated. But I've done that and it's not showing, so what must happen? And like I said, you know, I blamed myself. I thought there was something wrong with me because I couldn't accept that people sleep with people for things. I couldn't expect that people scheme. I couldn't expect that people pay, you know, Biola or do whatever. I couldn't accept that, oh, they give you a slot, you pay someone's school fees somewhere, or someone's girlfriend is benefit. I couldn't understand that people scheme and do things like that. It just didn't make sense to me. I'm like, Auntie, what's going on here? How much money are people making? You know? And also, I think because of that, people will come to me and say, I'm on this production, this is what the producer is doing, I'm on this show, this is what. So I started knowing people's things and how people do things, and I'm just like, yo, this is a lot. That's what it had to be, you know? And literally, if I played your music, it's because I believe that it was great. It's not because you did anything for me. You know, record company people call me and say, we've got a new artist, do you want to listen? You know, I don't see why if I have the CD, I can't go to the music department and say, Pel's got a new album and they sound amazing. I think they should be playlisted. Usually,
like, there's a lot of stand-in work that happens at the stage. I remember that. And you made a huge impact because in my mind, you hosted a daytime for a very long time. That's in my mind.
To a lot of people's mind, actually, I only hosted daytime once. A lot of times I would be standing in. I only got 12 to 3. For a year.
It's insane.
It's insane. I would sit in on Drive. I would sit in on Morning. I was good enough to do sit-in for everybody, but I was not good enough to have my own show.
do you love to deal with the thing? Because I'm like, this is hectic, and you just laugh. And I'm like,
yes, I would laugh because, you know, I would say, oh my gosh, you know, these awards are coming, let's do all the interview the designers and do the makeup artists and do that. And then you know what would happen? Then they would have everybody on the station hosting at the awards but me.
Who had it in for you? Have you forgiven? I'm so stressed.
It's like, so I would be like, look, I mean, I've obviously, like I said, I used to think there was something wrong with me. Now I'm over it because I realized there was nothing wrong with me. You know, I never believed my own hype. A lot of people believe their own hype. You know, people say to me, it's this, I mean, Penny, you were like so powerful. I'm like, what are they talking about? I was like, for me, I was just working and doing what I was doing. You know, I didn't believe that you're a threat to me. You could come in and take my position because we two different people. We offer different styles. We offer different things, our experiences, our nuances, and how we do things. I have confidence in my individuality and my ability. I didn't see the next person as competition. Do you understand what I'm saying? So now you can understand if I had to wake up and started thinking, so this one is in for me. This, like, it became, that's why I ended up with depression, because I was trying to figure out what the heck is going on.
I think we should go to a ad break. When we come back, we're definitely going to be talking about the struggles of co-parenting. Oh my God, tell me about it. The struggles of co-parenting, and the struggles of just living in the public sphere. More about living in controversy. For all you guys who are opening up the industry for, your turn is coming. Here are the lessons on the way, what you need to know. See you after this. Welcome back to the final slice of Behind the Story with the unmatchable, incomparable Penny Lebyane. Okay, so we were talking about, I mentioned this when we started Motherhood.
Yeah.
And the difficulties of it. And it's not like our problems are ever unique, but I think it's always important when we speak of them. I know the feeling of like trying to travel with your kids and then you can't because there's new rules and new laws.
Yeah.
How did you get past that? And I think I don't want to get into the drama more than anything. How have you found solutions to handle problems when you're dealing with a co-parenting situation, if you have, and is it working?
Shucks. You know, obviously, I had not planned to be a single mom. I had envisioned that I'm gonna be in a relationship with the father of my children and whatever. And things didn't work out that way. So it meant that I had to adjust how I do things. So co-parenting is a concept that I had no idea of and how it's going to work. And I'm straight to the point. This is how, because time is important to me. I work in an industry where it's time. If I say we need to sort out the child's school in a week, it needs to be sorted out in a week, you know? I don't understand why I need to call you 50,000 times to tell you the same thing, because it's, you know. So it's been a bit of a struggle for me with things like that, with co-parenting. And I struggled for a long time to say I'm a single parent. I tried everything to, I wanted to co-parent like Jada Pinkett. Yeah, like that I wanted to co-parent like Jada Pinkett, where we all go on holiday together.
Yeah.
And then when I'm dealing with people who don't understand that that's how I want to co-parent, it became problematic. Like I have a dream, like that was me. I'm like, we're not together, but we must still.
We don't have to fight.
Oh, but that's not what was happening. And then you can imagine. And then I had to manage the fact that I mustn't allow the situation to trigger me, so I can find myself dealing with anxiety and other things that would lead to me to depression. And so so it was it's been a very difficult journey, but I've grown through the pain, and I'm a good mom, and I'm an amazing mom to my kids. And I used to think I need someone to tell me that.
Yeah.
Like nobody has to tell me I'm an incredible mom. Yeah.
We won't be finding out about weddings on Twitter anymore.
You won't be finding out about weddings on Twitter?
On Twitter.
Well, I did find out that people got married on social media. I love social media.
When I heard that, I was like, did the kids know?
No, they didn't.
Let's move on.